You are at the gate. The fluorescent display is flashing "delayed" in orange. The PA repeats the same sentence in a flat voice, and the woman next to you snaps her phone shut because she can't hear the agent. Your boarding pass is on the table, coffee cold beside it, and you feel that low creeping panic. Will I get any money back if this flight costs me a night's hotel or a missed meeting? Take a breath.
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, Compensair will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right.
What you need right now is a calm checklist and a few certainties about the rules that actually pay passengers. I'll walk you through the exact checks to run before you leave home and the steps to follow at the airport. Explain why airlines negotiate these rules the way they do, using a simple everyday analogy. Give realistic numbers for what you might recover, and show the cheapest, fastest path to getting paid, plus one sneaky booking site trap to avoid. Start at home. Before you travel, screenshot your itinerary, save the confirmation email and the fare code, and note whether your booking is directly with the airline or through a third-party site. If you have a connecting itinerary, pull the full PNR so you can prove the chain of flights. Check whether your flight originates in the EU or is operated by an EU carrier. That matters a lot for EU261 eligibility. If you bought travel insurance, read the relevant section now and note time limits for filing. Finally, copy down the airline's complaint email and the national enforcement body for the country of departure. For EU flights, this is searchable by country. At the airport, keep every physical boarding pass and baggage tag. Take photos of gate displays showing the delay or cancellation times. Keep receipts for food, hotels, and taxis that you buy because of the disruption. And if an agent gives you a written voucher or note, photograph it immediately. If you're denied boarding or rerouted, ask for the reason in writing. Airlines are required in many jurisdictions to record the cause. If your bag is delayed or lost, file a Property Irregularity Report, PIR, at the airline desk before you leave the baggage area and keep the report number. Why do these rules exist, and why do they sometimes feel so confusing? Think of airline compensation rules like a product warranty. The company promises a level of service, and when the product fails, you have procedures and limits to claim a repair or a refund. The airline's contract of carriage is the warranty fine print. You have rights, but those rights depend on exactly where the failure happened, who operated the flight, and what the fine print says about extraordinary circumstances. Now, the numbers you actually care about. For flights covered by EU261, the standard statutory payments are straightforward. Roughly €250 for short flights under about 1,500 kilometres, €400 for medium haul up to roughly 3,500 kilometres, and €600 for long haul delays or cancellations where rerouting leaves you significantly later. These are flat compensations for the inconvenience, and you can often claim them even if the airline offers a rebooking. For baggage loss and damage, international law under the Montreal Convention limits airline liability. Practical recoveries for checked bag loss typically fall in a few hundred to about $1,000 to $2,000 equivalent, depending on the declared value and receipts. Exact maximums are expressed in special drawing rights, SDR, so convert to local currency when you claim. If you're in the United States, the rules are different and less generous in many cases.
Denied boarding compensation and tarmac delay protections exist, but many domestic delays don't trigger automatic cash payouts the way EU261 does. Typical involuntary bump compensation in the US commonly ranges from a few $100s up to roughly $1,000, depending on your fare and the delay to your arrival. Always check the US DOT page for the current thresholds. For misconnections caused by the airline, the practical cost risk ranges from losing a non-refundable onward ticket, 100% of that fare, to paying hundreds for a same-day rebook or a night in a hotel. Worst-case scenarios if you do nothing. You can lose the full value of non-refundable bookings. Your baggage claim can be denied for lack of a PIR or receipt, and an informal agent apology is unlikely to turn into cash without a formal written complaint. The missed flight risk is real. If you don't have buffer time, you can lose a full day's work or an event fee, and the airline's obligation is to get you on the next available flight, not necessarily to reimburse every consequential loss. The cheapest, safest solution is simple and inexpensive. Document, submit, and escalate. Document. Take photos of everything: display boards, boarding passes, baggage tags, receipts, agent notes. Submit. File the claim on the airline's official form as soon as possible. Many airlines have tight windows for certain claims.
Attach your photo evidence and receipts, and quote the regulation you're relying on. EU261, Montreal Convention, or the airline's contract of carriage. Escalate. If the airline refuses, escalate to the national enforcement body in the EU or to the Civil Aviation Authority, or DOT, in the US, and keep a written timeline of your communications. If you want a low-effort option, there are claims services that will file for you and take a commission, typically 20 to 30% of the award if successful. That's a practical trade-off if you want convenience and are not willing to spend hours on emails and appeals. If you prefer zero fees, accept that you will likely need persistence and possibly a small claims court filing if the airline stonewalls. Many useful links can be found in the description. One hidden fee I see repeatedly: third-party booking platforms often make refunds slower or harder. When a flight is canceled, the airline may owe you money, but some online travel agencies, OTAs, either hold the refund or add a service fee for processing changes. If you booked through an OTA, the airline may say you need to claim through that agency. The agency then tells you to wait, and refunds can take weeks or be reduced by non-refundable service charges. The way to refuse this? Call the airline with your PNR and request a written decision about whether the airline will refund you directly. If the airline insists the OTA must process it, contact the OTA immediately and demand a timeline in writing. If neither will act, your payment card provider may be able to initiate a chargeback while you pursue official complaints. One other common misleading claim is the extraordinary circumstances excuse. Airlines often cite severe weather or air traffic control delays to avoid paying EU261 compensation. That's valid when, for example, a storm closes the airport. It is not valid when a technical failure or staffing shortage, problems the airline could reasonably have prevented, caused the delay. Ask for the specific reason for the cancellation in writing. If the airline says technical problem, that is often contestable. Practical scripts you can use at the desk or in an email. Keep it short and factual. At the desk, say, "I need a written note explaining why flight number was canceled or delayed, and I need the exact rerouting times. I will submit this with a claim under EU261/the Montreal Convention." In an email subject line, use claim, flight number, date, booking ref, compensation request under regulation. Attach photo evidence and scanned receipts. If the first response is a refusal, reply with a deadline. Please respond with a reasoned decision and legal basis for refusal within 14 days. Otherwise, I will escalate to the enforcement body. That timeline helps you later when you show you gave the airline a chance to fix it. If you plan to escalate to small claims or a regulator, collect your timeline, keep all correspondence, and calculate your out-of-pocket losses. Extra hotel nights, taxis, and proven expenses are usually recoverable if you have receipts. For non-monetary inconvenience, EU261 covers that with the flat payments listed earlier. If your checked luggage is late but returned within 21 days, airlines generally reimburse reasonable necessities purchased while you were bagless: shoes, toiletries, medicine. Again, keep the receipts. A few final practical tips. Always try to resolve with the airline first, using politely persistent written requests. Use the airline's online complaint form rather than social media for formal proof. Set a calendar reminder for statutory claim deadlines. Some rules require action within 2 years, while others are shorter. And consider a chargeback on your credit card as a last resort if the airline or OTA stonewalls. If you want a one-page checklist you can screenshot at the airport. 1. Keep boarding pass and bag tags. 2. Photograph gate displays and agent notes. 3. Get a written reason for delay/cancellation. 4. File a PIR for missing baggage at the desk. 5. Submit airline claim with receipts within 30 days, depending on the rule. 6. If refused, escalate to the regulator and consider small claims. If this guidance helped you, please subscribe and like. I post practical travel rights and step-by-step claims help so you don't get shortchanged next time your trip goes wrong. Thanks for watching, and safe travels.